Hello there and welcome to Wellbeing. Of course, you know that before we even start anything on well-being, we like to say our daily plate, which is health is more than what people say. In health, we look at a physical, a mental, and emotional well-being, and not just the absence of disease or infirmity. When we talk about health, most times people are always thinking on the negative part, but see, there is more to it. My name is Emijon James. I am officially welcoming you to our health program called Wellbeing. Before I proceed, how are you doing? And I trust that you are having a wonderful, wonderful year or time or week. Anyways, on today's show, we are going to talk about something that is quite very, very important, and it has to do with the women. Actually, when today's conversation came up and I read about it, my heart actually skipped a little bit because I don't know why, but a woman seems to really go through so much, and a part of me really felt, I don't want to use the word sad, but then I was emotional in a way because there's so many women out there who, happen to pass through this stage or are actually going through this. And when I was much younger, but we used to kind of mock these women, but we never really knew what really was the problem. But on today's show, we are going to talk about the causes, the symptoms, and how these situations can be managed. Of course, today happens to be World VVF Day. And when I mean VVF, I'm talking about vesicovaginal fistula. On well-being, before we even unveil our guests, I always like to do a little special report or a little analysis about what we are going to talk about. For me, I believe that it helps us to be more attentive and call your friends, call your neighbors, pick your pen, pick your diaries so that you know that it's quite very important. And also, in case you happen to be a victim, you are not the only one on the table, and the aim is to create awareness and reach out to you. So on today's show, let us look at the prevalence of VVF. Of course, when I say VVF, I mean vesicovaginal fistula. So when I say VVF, that's what I'm talking about. But let's look at the prevalence of this disease in Nigeria and how help can, come to those that have it, and how you too can also be very supportive. Now, vaginal fistula in Nigeria happens to be very, very common, and we have women globally estimated 400 to 800 cases of VVF. Now, approximately 20,000 new cases are reported annually, with 90% remaining untreated. Now, the incidence rate, it is said that annual obstetric fistula incidence is estimated at 2.11 per 1,000 births, with a higher prevalence in northern Nigeria compared to the south. Now let's look at the global prevalence of VVF. Now approximately 3 million women worldwide suffer from unprepared VVF, with an estimated 2 million residing in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. Now each year, 30,000 to 130,000 new cases develop due to obstructed labor in Africa alone. Now let's look at the annual incidence. Now globally, between 50,000 and 100,000 women sustain an obstetric fistula during childbirth each year. Looking at the regional insight from Nigeria, it is reported that Ebonyi State has a prevalence of 12.2 per 100 cases, with 86.1% of cases attributed to obstetric complications. Plateau State reports a higher prevalence of 23.7 per 100 women, with 86.1% of cases attributed to obstetric complication. We look at Kebbi State. Kebbi State records a prevalence of 29.3 per 1,000 deliveries, with the highest frequency among women aged 14 to 19. The mean age of marriage is reported at 16 years, and majority of affected individuals are housewives or farmers. Joining us on today's show, I'm super excited and very privileged to host a deputy matron in the person of a deputy matron, sorry, in the person of Justina Inyang and Mr. Thompson Ntiense. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the show.
afternoon.
How are you doing today, Ma?
Fine, and you?
I'm very good.
Good.
How do you feel about being on the show today on Spectrum TV?
Very, very interesting
Okay,
because we are going to handle and a very, very interesting topic, especially pertaining to women,
great.
which has behind it a pathetic
Yeah,
feeling.
okay.
Like you said earlier, you said when you went through it, you were actually,
Emotional.
yeah, of a truth. That's actually the situation.
Okay, so let us just hit the ground running. What exactly is VVF for those that do not know?
For those that do not know what is actually a VVF, vesicovaginal fistula is an obstetric injury that a woman sustained during childbirth, and it is as a result of abnormal communication between the bladder and the vagina. And that is between the bladder and the vagina, wherein the bladder has been damaged during the process of the childbirth. And then the woman began to leak urine involuntarily. While RVF, we have these two simultaneously occurring during childbirth. That of RVF is rectal vaginal fistula, and abnormal communication between the rectum and the vagina, wherein the fecal matter now leaks into the vagina involuntarily, and is always a very sad and a pathetic condition for the woman.
Okay. So, what are some of the causes of VVF?
The causes of VVF, basically, in obstetric, we have it is obstetrical condition.
Okay.
Like I have said, it is when a woman is pregnant and wants to give birth. The causes is because the woman's birth canal is not capable of bringing out the contents of the baby
Okay.
due to some abnormalities.
Okay. It seems you want to demonstrate with your
Yes,
hands.
I
So
would
you can
just
go
want
ahead.
to demonstrate
Yes, you can go ahead.
because where the pelvis is just this way.
Okay.
You understand? Yes, the pelvis of a woman is this way. That's the where the baby is going to come out. We have the baby in the uterus up here, and when it is time for the baby to come out, the pelvis, that is the woman's making here, the bones here.
Okay.
Yes, is going to be a canal where the baby will be coming out through the women genital part. Now, where the pelvis is not opening, that is not obvious enough, oval, it has a shape. If the cervix is not in a shape, in an oval shape, and for the baby to come out, there will be problem. Then in the pelvis, we have some tissue, bones coming out. We have the ischial bone, we have the symphysis pubis, and then we have other parts there that when it is time for the baby to come out, it will just go. When the size of the passenger corresponds with the passage, it will go. But where there is an intrusion, something introducing, like the spine intrude, like the pelvis is now contracted. The passenger, that is the baby coming, will be obstructed. In that case, we say the woman has CPD, that is cephalopelvic disproportion. The pelvis is not in a proportion to carry the baby. And definitely there must be obstruction. These are the causes of VVF. When it is obstructed and the baby is not coming, and the baby, naturally, when it is time for the baby to come out, the nature will take its course. The contraction will come. Everything in the baby will be okay. And the cervix, the entrance where the baby is coming, will begin to dilate corresponding to the contraction of the uterus. So as the uterus is contracting and bringing down the baby, the cervix will be giving way for the baby to pass through. Now, as the baby is coming through a canal, and then there is obstruction because of CPD, the pelvis is contracted, the baby will not come out. And we have organs around there. We have the rectum,
Yes.
we have the bladder. All these are there.
Surrounding.
So when the baby comes and then the baby's head begin to rub on that, bladder has a very fragile tissue. And the baby continue to rub the head there because something is holding the baby, is not allowing the baby to come. And the bone, the baby's head is bone, and then the pelvis is bone, and the bladder here is a very fragile tissue. And then this bony something is rubbing continuously because it's not having a free movement. There is gangrenous. There is blood supply to that part of the bladder is cut off. When the bladder is not that part of the blood, part of the bladder is not receiving blood supply again, it becomes necrose. That is, there is no blood supply. So now, and the labor is continuing when it's supposed not to have been so because there is contracted pelvis. Another issue is that when the baby there is a way the baby will lie down, lie in the uterus, and then the pelvis also ready to get the baby passed through. And then it happens at times, nature, the baby instead of lying vertically here, he lies this way. You understand? The head, instead of being this way, the head turns and it's natural.
Natural.
Yes, it can happen.
So is there no way that they can turn that baby?
You can do it, but there is a particular time we do that when it is being detected. But if all these things happen in a rural place, where will you detect it, my dear? But that is why it is always advisable that all pregnant women will find themselves in the hospital, where every facility is made available to take care and to correct any abnormality before time.
Okay.
You understand now?
Yes.
So you were asking me the causes. So these are the causes: abnormal line, contracted pelvis. At times, the pelvis being contracted, at times the baby also, when it's not lying in a proper vertex way, it's either oblique, it's either in an transverse line. We have transverse. That's how the baby decides to come.
No.
And there's no problem about that. With the use of science and technology,
turn the baby.
no, we can use another means to bring the baby out without cut to the mother, neither the baby. But in a rural place where this idea is not there, the knowledge is not there, the facility is not there, the intervention is not there, what do you think will happen? The poor woman will keep doing it, expecting it to come the way that every one of us who were born, that woman will born from here. Right?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
And
like the Hebrew women.
Yeah, the Hebrew women, you get it. But science have another way to make it possible. So these are all the causes. Another causes will be in female genital mutilation.
Okay.
You see where there's supposed to be a stretch in the outlet, the outer part of genital organ. You see, God has made it so that it is stretchable.
Okay.
When the baby's head is coming,
it just is fine.
It will expand, stretch for the baby's head. But where there was female genital mutilation, that which our women and our mothers should put a stop to it. When that mutilation heals, it heals with scar. And definitely a scar cannot stretch, can it?
No.
And when that thing is not stretching like God made it naturally, what do you think will happen? The baby's head remain here. And it causes damage to the underlying organs. So that's actually some few causes of BVF.
Wow, this is so enlightening. I mean, I'm very happy that Spectrum TV, we are actually talking about this today because we have those from the north actually watching us, and according to statistics, it's mostly the northern women that come down with this disease. So I'm going to turn the spotlight now to Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, let's talk about the risk factors of BVF. I know that statistics said that it's mostly northern women. Why do you think that northern women have a high statistics of BVF cases? What are some of the risk factors?
All right, thank you very much. But first of all, I want to clear we are embarking on with the United Nations. We are joining them to celebrate the World Fistula Day. It's tomorrow, not actually today, but we are
Okay.
starting our programs as the
Today.
number one VVF center in Akwa Ibom State
Great.
and also even in the South South. We have started the program today. We, our antenatal mothers, the pregnant women, we are attending to them, giving them free medications and routine drugs. We are attending to them beginning from today and even tomorrow. And even the survivors, we are planning to empower them.
True.
We are coming, we are calling them, all the survivors, the VVF survivors, the one that has passed through our the repairs in our center.
Okay.
We are inviting them to meet with them as we are speaking now today. They are all of them that are in the hospital. We have a workshop for them, and we are planning to empower them at the same time. It is not only in the north, but per se. We have a lot of cases in the south also, and even in the Akwa Ibom state. If you have opportunity to visit our center, we in the this year January we carried out the repairs and on April, and it's also coming up in July this year. Then the last one in November. So if you have opportunity to visit them during this period, not even only we call it camp, we have routine repairs. Any PVF patient comes to our hospital now can be taken care of. Repairs free, no uh, fees attached to it. So it is not only in the north. That's what I wanted to say. That we have young girls of age 14, 15, 16 years. If you come to our hospital, you see them. They have this challenge. They have this problem. VVF and RAF. Some of them they cannot even walk. Their muscles are weak. They cannot walk anymore. So we give them counseling. We give them rehabilitation. We rehabilitate them. So this is what is happening in the States. And it's a worldwide event. We are joining with the United Nations to create the awareness about VVF and RVF. And our mandate as a center is for us to see how we can curb the menace.
Okay.
But it's only when it happens that we now repairs.
Okay. Well, it seems you want to say something about the risk
I
factor.
have seen that
Okay.
the risk factors
Yes.
is underage.
Underage.
Pregnancy, like he has said, and these children, as human beings, we started small, small, and every part in the woman, in a female child, is growing, growing, so that when it is time for that reproduction period, every
It's
part of
prepared.
the body is prepared.
True.
But when these children get pregnant before that time, their reproductive organs are not well developed, especially the pelvis. And at times, you see this small girl carrying a big baby. Is improper. You understand? The small pelvis. And being a small girl, eating anything coming, she will take because of the appetite, increased appetite of pregnancy. But as is eating, the baby become, and here she has a very small breast, not yet,
Yes.
not yet developed. You understand?
Yes.
Do you think this baby will be able to do this process? It is for matured. The process is for matured. So the risk factor is that these children get pregnant before time. Another risk factor is poverty.
Poverty.
Poverty. They can, this other one will go, a man will see, carry a woman. You don't even have what to eat at home. And then you get a woman. When it is time, will you go to the hospital? You look for some people. You understand?
Yeah.
The backyard to do there. So these are the people at risk. Bad nutrition. will not give the woman the strength, will not give the woman, the baby is not even like they are active to move. Everything is crippled because of poverty, because of misconception about hospital. When I get to the hospital,
they'll cut me
they
with knife.
cut me with knife. And my mother put to bed, so sorrow.
Yeah.
That do the thing, you understand?
Yeah.
You see, when this perception will keep these people behind. This is a risk. It's a risk factor. You understand?
Yeah.
Whereas in the hospital, it's not as expensive as they thought, their mindset. So these things form risk for the people that would have gone to the hospital and get safe delivery. So that is why we joined the World Today Health to make sure that obstetric fistula, at least by the grace of God, will be abated. It will not be there.
Yes.
And we believe it will be good.
It definitely is going to be abated. I mean, as far as it has hit Spectrum TV, trust me, I wouldn't mind making sure that before every end of well-being show, I preach this gospel because it's not.
It's a gospel,
because it's not even funny right now. I mean, up to like 500 to 800 cases.
Yes, they happen. School children, primary school children.
Okay.
Poverty.
Okay, so now, now that we are, I'm sure that there's someone listening to us now, especially those in the rural areas where they are not where they don't have a good primary healthcare center. What are those signs and symptoms that they can see and know that look, the baby in your womb is too big? You have to, go to the hospital as soon as possible.
I want to commend our country, Nigeria, by the grace of God.
Okay.
The Federal Ministry of Health, they are working very well. I don't think that is there any local place that there is no health center? I don't think. Even here in our Akwa Ibom state, even in the riverine area, we have a health center. Ibno, I think we have a health center. Mbo, we have.
We even have one very close to us here.
That is scattered everywhere. And this health center is to the grassroots. Those people, to the extent that we needed to make these people don't put on uniform so that they will not be scared. These public health nurses, they wear the same thing, they will go with them, they rapport with them, and then so that they can flow, so that they can get them and teach them and create the awareness in them, help them and guide them. But what still keeps them behind is the fact that when they go to the hospital,
they will cut them with knife.
And another belief is that this prophecy, the church something,
true.
Church something, deliver in the church.
True.
Deliver in the church. Is God not in the health center? Is God not in your house? God is everywhere. But they will tell you, don't. So if our people will stop preaching prophecy to scare people.
Even testimonies. Some testimonies that you hear in church, somebody will say, the doctor told me I should come for CS, and I said no, by faith I'm going to push. There's some testimonies that they say in church, and you just feel like muting their mic from there because there is somebody out there. Thank you so much, Ma, for debunking that rumor right now. Thank you so much because it's actually a major problem. I think last week on our Woman's Diary show, we talked about, not even last week, last month, we saw a case of a man who lost his wife and the baby because of, in their church, CS is not accepted. And you can imagine how many women have to go through and come down with VVF because of church, societal belief, church belief, and witchcraft. Thank you so much, Ma, for debunking that.
Yes, I need to tell them now that cesarean section is another method of putting to bed. It's scientifically, performed. The natural one is there.
Okay.
And where there is obstruction and where the baby is not lying well, you still have to go and force. God has given us the knowledge. If we will read it, it's our Bible very well. God said in time will come where people will be increased in what?
Knowledge.
This knowledge is to help us. Why do you now oppose it? You see? So our people need to get things right.
Yes.
So that things are done in the right way.
Yes. Okay.
And then the right thing is obtained.
Okay, ma. Because of time, I think I'll ask Mr. Thompson now. A lady that already has a, a, a big baby in her womb, how would they know? How would they? What are some of those signs and symptoms that somebody would know? Okay, fine. I think if I go through this way, I'm going to come down with VVF.
Thank you. The solution is for them to visit the hospital to attend the antenatal clinic. That is just that. There's no two ways about it.
Okay.
Because okay, if they go to the midwives that we have in the local the locality, they will not have the females. They will not have the like if the woman visits the hospital now, a scan will be done. Do we have that in the midwives' houses or in the church? That the prayer houses is not even the church, is they call it prayer houses. Do we have that? They don't have it. So the solution is for them to attend the antenatal clinic in the hospital. And that is what we are advising. That's what we are telling them.
Okay, thank you so much.
Now, from what you have written there, signs and symptoms of
VVF.
VVF. The signs and symptoms for VVF is that you don't have this before. It is things that has happened after delivery. Now, how will somebody know that person is having VVF? From the definition that I gave, I said is leaking of urine involuntarily or feces. So you see, initially, in a normal setup, when we are pressed, our brain will give us message that we need to go and
use the restroom.
Use the restroom. But where there is that damage, there is no communication again to the brain. Because this thing is now just passing freely. So how will you know that this is happening to somebody? Number one, you will see that person, if it is in your own local area, every time she will be washing pieces. You know, you can't afford pad again.
Yeah.
Neither can you afford diapers.
Adult
diapers.
Yeah.
So they will be using wraps, their wrappers. You see them washing and hanging to dry before they use it to pack themselves so that they will not sit down and then the bum is wet. That is one of the signs. And number two, the person that has been going to market, having put to bed, you will not see the baby already is dead. He's not having the baby again. Now, what will stop her after 3 to 4 months not to go out? She cannot again. She has been segregated. She cannot go again about her normal life. You see, even in the church, because you know these things are waste products.
Yeah.
It needed to be discarded in the proper way. And then this person is carrying it. Definitely, if you sit close to him, you need to always.
No, you're not very
and the person will be embarrassed. He will know he's the one, she's the one. Will you like to go to a social place again? These are the signs, things that the person will demonstrate. And then you now know that there is something wrong somewhere. So these things like this, you will not go to the market. You will see the thing will affect them. They will not even want to eat and drink water. You know water is very, very important.
Yeah, so
when I drink water, the thing will be coming out. Hey, if they will not drink water, they will become dehydrated. Infection will set in. We need to, when we are pressed, we need to send. It's a waste product.
Yes,
We don't
yes,
keep
true,
it.
true.
And then it's coming and it's correcting, and you understand as a woman.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ma. Let's just go on a quick break. When we return, we are going to talk to survivors and people who are down with VVF. How can we help them, and also how can we support people who are going through this problem? Because you just said something now. As much as it's uncomfortable, what if you're around someone that has this problem? What are you going to do? And also, what is the government doing to help? Don't go nowhere. This is Wellbeing on Spectrum TV, and we'll be right back.
your horizon is what every living being not only genuinely desires, but heartily pursues and intentionally invests in. For in the gathering of men, only those whose minds are in tune with the dynamics of the past, present, and future innovations, inventions, politics, and governance are respected. They are Spectrum Television, and broadening your horizon is our obsession. Press on your decoder now to connect Spectrum Television on the frequency 12589, simple rate 26250. That is frequency 12589, symbol rate 26250, polarization horizontal, and join our online community at spectrumtvlive.ng. For further inquiries, please call 0704 158 5642 or 0704 541 7707. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
Welcome back. This is Wellbeing on Spectrum TV, and we have been having this very serious and interesting conversation. I mean, I like the fact that while Mitchell was talking, I mean, I literally was holding my stomach like, hey, God. Anyways, in case you're just joining us, today's conversation we are talking about VVF, vesico vaginal fistula. And then, we've been talking about the causes, the symptoms. Right now, joining us to make the conversation more educative and rich, let's welcome Mrs. Mercy Kang. It happens to be, she's also a matron and also a secretary at the VVM Hospital. Welcome to the show, Ma.
Thank you very much. Point of correction, I'm not the secretary.
Oh, you're not the secretary.
Yeah.
The one that I've met is the secretary.
Sorry, that was a mix up on my own end. But welcome to the show, Ma.
Thank you.
How have you been enjoying the conversation so far?
So nice.
I mean, I've been hearing you whisper once in a while. Okay, so let's just hit the ground running. Let's talk about VVF. Do you think it can actually be prevented? And let's talk to people in the rural area that they don't know these things. Some of them will just come back from school and then they are arranged to their husband's house. Is there a way that we can actually prevent this VVF? If there is a way, how?
Yes, thank you so much. There are so many ways to prevent this VVF from occurring. Number one is what the VVF hospital is doing right now, to go about training the TBS, because you can't stop them, they will not stop. To train them to know the type of the level that the delivery they should take, and to know the length of the time that they should keep a woman in labor. So that is what VVF Hospital is doing right now, by training the TBS, just to prevent, so that they will maybe refer the patient in time. So another one is to prevent underage marriage. Because these children, their pelvis, everything is not developed. And if it happened, your child underage, maybe have pregnancy, it's your duty to take her to the hospital so that we can do the right thing. Don't just abandon her to the TBS. Underage marriage.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, because of time, let's just go to what are the treatment options available for people with VVF?
Treatment option. No drugs will seal the hole.
Is it going to be permanent for life?
No, the only option is for surgery.
Surgery.
The only option is surgery.
So someone who's down with VVFK problem now, if the person shows up at the hospital, there is a way that they can stitch it back.
Yes, there is a way.
If they stitch it back, can the person still give birth normally?
No. When you are healed, you can't give birth normally again. So that you will not destroy the work that the doctor has done. It will be through CS. And some of them, surgery can be done twice or thrice, depending on the damage the bladder sustained, the damage that was done. So the surgery may not be one time. It can be twice or thrice, depending on the damage to the bladder or rectum.
Okay. Now let's talk about the stigma surrounding VVF. Like you mentioned earlier, sometimes you could go to church or you could go anywhere, and before you know it, you are literally stained or embarrassed. How can we address stigma surrounding VVF cases? I'm trying to think. I'm referring a question to you.
Oh, the way we can try to, we have is the impression people will have in the neighborhood. We need to, we start from the family, because they may attribute this VBF this person is having, these difficulties, this challenge during childbirth, to witchcraft. They will attribute it as idiom for your sin. You have committed sin. You see?
Yeah.
Or there is somebody attacking you somewhere. Scientifically, it is from what I have illustrated. It is none of the above. So what we do by the grace of God, you see, these people, they come to the hospital and they come with their relatives, some of them. And as they come, we wash out that mentality from them and then get them to get the truth. That this thing happening now is a trauma. It's just like somebody running and then he fell down and then hit and then got injured. So the process of delivery, that is where this injury is coming, is no effort, is no sin. After everybody commits sin, am I not correct?
Yeah, sure.
What our own is that so that she will go and get all, So we try to write this off their minds and then get them to get the correct perception about vaginal fistula. You understand? We correct this, and then the moment that is corrected, they will go home. They will not talk. And the moment this thing is, the person will go through surgery and is done and is healed, because we have lots of testimony abounds for those people who have been treated and healed. So the woman will go about doing her normal
business.
And then by the grace of God, the hospital also make provision to empower them so that they will start life anew. So with this, the stigmatization is done with.
Controlled.
Yeah. People will not say it and nobody will talk. We maintain confidentiality of a higher level in the hospital.
That's good. Thank
Another
you.
thing in the hospital to remove the stigma is to show them love.
Yeah.
Immediately they arrive in the hospital, we embrace them, we love them, draw them closer to ourselves, show them love. Don't neglect them.
Thank you so much, Ma. I mean, he said something, show them love. So when you're around somebody who happens to be down with PVF, please try as much as possible to show love. One of the ways you can show love is by directing them to a hospital. I'm super excited. I'm more calm now that there is actually a way that this can be controlled. So you can actually go for your surgery and then your life will go back to normal. Although I'm just worried about those of you that are scared of CS. Anyways, I'm not going to say what's in my mind. But then again, look, help can come your way. And one way that you can actually be free is by going to the hospital for care. But then let's talk about antenatal. What role does antenatal play in VVF? Do you think that women who go for antenatal more stand a higher chance of not coming down with VVF?
Antenatal care has a greater role to play. In antenatal care, the nurses there will monitor you. They will monitor you, starting from your BP. They will check during palpation. They will look at your physical body, your tummy, whether you have scar. They will ask you several questions. From antenatal care, all these scan that we were talking about, the scan and the test will be conducted. Through scan, we will know whether the pelvis is okay, whether the baby is okay, whether the baby will be able to pass the canal. So scan will reveal all that, and we will monitor it. So antenatal care play a very vital role in preventing VVF. Yeah. Because the patient will be monitored.
I know that antenatal care has. I know we've had a discussion about antenatal care. Why some women actually feel very lazy to go for antenatal, especially a second time mother. They have this perception that they know what to do and they know how to do what to do. But then again, this is us saying that you have to make sure if you have the grace of going for, maybe you want to have like 5 children, you must also have the grace to go for your antenatal for the 5th time to ensure that you are safe. Let's talk about nutrition.
Wait, let me talk something.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I got you. I want to my people there that are listening to me now.
Okay.
If you say you passed through antenatal care to give birth to your first child, that you have known it all, you are absolutely wrong, because that the second baby may not lie the way the first baby lied. Now, the symptoms you had in the other one, you may not even experience it here. So each baby has his own way and his own manner of coming. So it is very, very important that at least every pregnant woman should start the antenatal clinic and end in antenatal clinic.
Okay.
Because it is the right place for somebody to be. And let me put it this way. Can somebody go to a carpenter shed to study to have a degree? Can it be possible?
No.
You must be in the school.
Yes.
That is how a pregnant woman must take it. That you must be in antenatal clinic for you to
the
get
delivery time. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma. Before we go, this is our final, not like a final question, but then what are your last words to to women in the rural community and also to the men? Because most times you can see that the women might know what to do, but imagine if you get married to, a man that insists that, this is the way my daughter must get married by at 12 or by 13. How can women in the rural area handle this situation more excellently?
Thank you. The women in the rural area should embrace hospital, and their husband should follow them to the hospital to make sure that she has
Completed the
the
process.
necessary thing.
Yes.
The husband also must give her enough money for the
That's very
antenatal
good.
care.
Good point.
He must give them enough money, not to leave them
To just be on their own.
to be on their own. So they must embrace hospital for checkup.
Okay. Thank you, Ma.
And I want to say this also. For men out there, when your wife gets pregnant, you are the one carry your own pregnancy
In the brain.
Because she will be passing through some certain symptoms that will cause her misbehave different from what she was before. So it is you, the husband, that will encourage her. It is you, the husband. Some may be very lazy to come to the antenatal clinic. My dear, today is your clinic day. Did you remember that? It is good. It is necessary. It is good for you. Can we go? I'll go accompany you today. You see, this is some different ways of encouraging them and encouraging them. So I want to speak to our men outside there. Please be your wife keeper. Be a husband, be a lover, be a caregiver.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. I like the way the matron actually ended that speech. Be your wife's keeper, be a lover, in fact, be a father, be a brother, be a doctor on top. Okay, before you go, tomorrow happens to be World BBF Day. What is your organization actually doing? And does it mean that tomorrow all the women who have this case and those that don't have this case can rush to your hospital to get awareness or to get help? What is that one thing that your organization is actually doing to help the world create more awareness about BBF?
That tomorrow we are going to march out to many places. We want to talk to the public because we really want this VVF to end. We want it to end because women are suffering in silence. So we are going to go to places like markets, beach, to preach to them to stop the VVF. And I believe the TBAs will come to the hospital. We will enlighten them as we used to be, educate them. And the VVF's victim also will come to the hospital. We also encourage them to speak to their sisters and friends concerning VVF so that they will not sustain it.
Thank you so much, Ma.
And our TBAs that we are inviting, we will invite them to come and we will give them some working tools to help them take care of these people, because actually, like we said, we can't stop her. She said it, you can't stop them. They will tell you that is what they are going to. But the only we specify the specific extent they need it. So we are going to also equip them with some tools that will help them to do their work there based on our own instruction and guidelines.
Do you mind giving us your location? I mean, how can we reach out to you? I know that a phone number here was given, so if you want to reach out to them, if you are a traditional birth attendant and you really want to reach out to them, which you should, all you have to do is call them on 070 724 560, or you can call on 090 366 09647. The phone line will be displayed on the screen for you to reach out to them as soon as possible. No, we've come to the end of our show today, but before we go, of course, we'd like to get your last words.
My viewers there, I'm so glad to be here this afternoon as we invite you also to join the global ending fistula, obstetric fistula 2025. All I will say is this: please let us make use of our antenatal clinics. Let's make use of our health centers very close to you at your doorpost there. And let husbands make sure their wives attend antenatal when they are pregnant. And mothers, please, let's refrain from mutilating our girl child because it is harmful tomorrow to them. Let's discourage early marriage to our teenage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma. Make you amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to us. We are asking you to join us to make sure that we end VVF in Nigeria and in Akwa Ibom. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for being a part of today's show on well-being. But before we go, where's the venue? The venue of the VVF Hospital.
VVF Hospital is at Britain off Idoro.
Okay.
Britain.
Okay.
At VVF Road.
VVF
number
Road.
19.
VVF Road.
Off Idoro Road.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is to say that we've come to the end of today's show, and I promise you that till this month is over, that will be one of my gospels on all my shows on well-being. This has to end. I believe it can be ended, and I'm very happy that there is a way forward. So to the women out there who kind of have this injury, there is help for you. And guess what? Tomorrow, all you have to do is take your body day. To all the traditional birth attendants, Personally, for me, I will feel, well, I will just, you people should just leave us alone. Well, because you are called for this mission, please do not miss tomorrow's session for any reason, because you are as important as the woman in labor. Do not miss showing up tomorrow at Idoro Road, BVF. I mean, just tell the KK man, whatever, BVF, and they will get you there. Thank you so much for being a part of Wellbeing today. I love you so much. And of course, you know that we hold you in a high regard in Spectrum TV. To become your voice, same time, same station, I remain Emedion James. Do have a lovely day and be kind to those around you. Goodbye.